if you're a brand new restaurant owner, or if you've had a restaurant for a while now, this video we're going to go over some tips and tricks for you to be able to use marketing strategies to be able to make it so that more customers come into your restaurants. If you guys don't know me, my name is John. I've worked in many industries and helped a lot of businesses grow and scale their businesses with marketing with different very unique strategies. Okay, I've done a lot of stuff. I'm not gonna go into details about it, but yes, I've worked in restaurants before, front of house and back of house. I understand the turnovers in line cooks and in server assistants, bussers, all that fun stuff. I get it, and I also understand that in restaurant your margins are pretty slim. You're working in an industry that has a shelf life where the food that you do buy doesn't last forever, so it's a tough industry. It's a very tough industry. Front of house drama, back of house drama. I understand. I get it. I've been here. Servers dropping glasses and breaking stuff. The whole galore. Okay, I understand that. So how can you promote your business to be able to get more customers and eat at your place? In this video, I'm gonna go over strategies that you can easily use to be able to just acquire new clients. But there's fundamentally one concept that I do want to explain first in marketing terms, so that way you get a general view of how you want to do marketing. Let me explain. Most marketers and most restaurants honestly think that to get new clients to come into your restaurants, you're gonna have to do happy hours. You're gonna have to use social media to take some photos and post it on your Instagram account, your business Instagram account for your restaurant, or you need to be able to do happy hour, wine Wednesdays, all that fun stuff. Yes, don't get me wrong, those can get you customers, but without an actual strategy, you're kind of guessing. Okay, so what do? What you need to do, you need to determine whether or not your restaurant on this little thing, what I like to call as the value pyramid, whether you're near the top of the pyramid or at the bottom of the pyramid. Okay, so I'm going to use Hot Pot as an example because this will explain it very well. Okay, Hot pot, essentially, it's an Asian type of cuisine where you gather around in a circle. There's a pot with a soup base, and you can choose which soup base you want, and then you order raw food, either raw chicken, raw pork, raw fish, raw seafood, vegetables, all the fun stuff, and then you cook it, together at the restaurant, and then you would eat it with either sauce or sides. Very simple. People like it. There are three restaurants I do want to point in particular and highlight. There's Heidi Lao, Big Way Hot Pot, Boiling Point. These are all hot pot places of varying degrees. So Heidi Lao is more of your premium experience. So Heidi Lao is definitely more expensive by far, but kind of an experience. Recommend you go if you've ever had the chance. They sing, they dance, they perform, they do some pretty wild stuff. It's an experience to go there. It's hard to explain, but it is what you call quite outlandish, but it is. It's a sight to behold. So that's Hai Di Lao. Also, pretty expensive food. Then you have Big Way Hot Pot. How Big Way works is essentially instead of them putting a pot in the middle of your table and you ordering stuff to cook, they give you a small bowl, pot, and you grab what you want. You pick what you would like, and then they would weigh your pot, and then they would give you the price, and then you pay for it, and you tip on top already, so you don't need a lot of servers to deal with the payment system. And they cook it, you sit down, you eat, they give you an ice cream cone, and then you leave. Very quick, efficient model, very value. But then you have Boiling Point. Boiling Point, they kind of just sit in the middle, and what I mean by the middle is they don't have a crazy experience to the point where it would justify a higher cost, because they're not like singing, dancing, all that fun stuff. But they're not cheap enough to the point where you could call it value, because they're still a bit more expensive compared to like Big Way. And that's the problem with most business and most restaurants. They don't understand that if they're stuck in the middle where they are not the cheapest, but they're also not like of a good experience or premium value, they're in this little desert area and they need to get out of it. So what do? You need to be able to distinguish whether or not you want to be more premium, more bougie, more of an experience, or you need to figure out whether you're going to compete on value. Figure out where you want to be, go with that. Big Way Hot Pot, they compete on value. They dominate. Heidi Lao, they compete in experience. They crush it. Boiling Point, kind of in the middle. There's really no reason to go to Boiling Point unless you really like Boiling Point as a brand. This is where branding and marketing matters. Okay, so this is something that everybody could do. And funny enough, I'm not going to give you like the generic advice. I'm going to give you like very specific advice. But let's just start broad first, okay? Because this is what any one of these businesses could do. So, number one, you can leverage social media, okay? A good restaurant that uses social media very well is Ann and Cheese, okay? Ann and Cheese, yes, they do like what most restaurants do is showcase their food, but what they do as well is they also establish long-term brand loyalty. And how they do that is when I go to Ann and Cheese and I post about Ann and Cheese, tag them in a story or something on the location, a person or a bot, can be both, will reach back out to me and say, "Hey, thanks for coming. I really appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed your stay at Ann and Cheese." Very personalized. It's great. You know, one of the few places that actually does that. All right. Don't get me wrong. Social media has a point in it, but you need to know what to do with social media. Just posting about your food isn't good enough unless you have a strategy behind it, okay? There's the second one. And then there's the one that I don't really like, but I also like as well. It's influencer collaboration. This is where you have foodies come into your restaurant and you give them free food, they post about it. This can be a double-edged sword. Let me explain why. Foodies, some, if not most, super egotistical. My lord. I don't like dealing with foodies usually. But they do offer exposure and experience. But here's the thing. You need to work with foodies or food influencers who have a strong brand and dialed in audience, okay? And that's very easy to do if you look at the engagements of their posts. You can tell if an influencer is good or bad based on the interactions of their post, okay? Do not look at the followers, those don't matter. Look at the engagements, the kind of engagements in the person's post, and also check the counts to make sure there's not bots, because Jesus Christ, so many bots nowadays with that. But influencers can be very useful because word of mouth is a very strong indicator for just everyone. All right. Second, or the next thing is Google My Business Profile Optimization. Okay. Your restaurant has a storefront, has to have a storefront, and you have to put that storefront on Google. What you need to do with that specifically is you need to be able to optimize your website and your profile to make it so that when people are searching up, say, hot pot in the area, your restaurant shows up near the top of the list. Okay. Next thing you can do is special promotions. Special promotions, that's very simple. You can do loyalty programs. Big Way Hot Pot has a very simple loyalty program. If you buy food from them, they give you 100 points, and I think every 300 points you get $10 off or something like that, right? The other way to be able to do this is local partnerships. What you do is you reach out to other companies or brands or restaurants around you and you do like collabs and promotions with them. This could be as simple as like, hey, if you go eat here and then you eat here, you get 10%. Or it could be as crazy as you bring on a chef from a different restaurant to do a private dining experience and you do a one night of that type of experience. That could be work. Now, the next way of doing it for marketing is you can create a memorable experience, okay? Just for example, very similar to Haidilao, how they have people who sing, they have people who dance. You can do different ways. You don't have to go extreme as that, but you could do different nights. For example, you can do trivia nights if you're like a bar or a pub. Heck, you can do like a spicy challenge, like, oh, do our spicy wing challenge. Or you can do like a food eating challenge, finish this amount of food in this amount of time. If you do, you get it for free, stuff like that. And then the next strategy is email and text marketing. Very, very, very useful, can make you a lot of money if you know what you're doing. And also, last but not least, online ordering and delivery. Pretty self-explanatory. Here, we're going to jump into each one of these a little bit better because I just gave you the broad stuff. Let's give you the actual sauce, the specifics, how to execute, okay? Social media marketing. This is what I would do with social media marketing. Number one, create stories, okay? You got to have stories. You can fake the stories or you can make it natural, do whatever, figure out what you want to do. But what you need to do is you need to tell stories. Memes do very well at restaurants, but also at the same time, it could be really bad because you also need to understand what your brand is. Do you want to be more premium fine dining, more pretentious, or do you want to be more silly, goofy, come in here type of thing, okay? So figure out what you want to do. But you need to tell good stories. You also need to have the face of the brand, obviously. There are people that do skits great stories. There are tattoo shops that the whole thing is not tattooing, is they literally create skits of either horror stories or funny situations that happen and relatable content. Or they do before and afters of people tattoo. Same thing with social media marketing. If you had like a challenge, like spicy wings challenge, you can do like before afters, post about the winners. There's so many ways you can do with social media, but one of the quick and simplest way to be able to use social media marketing is whenever someone tags your restaurant, just reply back to them. And if you're even crazier, send a video. No restaurants do that. I can assure you, nobody does that. And if you're the restaurant owner, do that, especially if you're brand new. Different ways of doing it, and as you get crazy more busy, just text them. Hey, thanks you so much for coming in. Really appreciate it. Very similar to Anna G's strategy. Or you can go a step further and do some crazy other stuff. Okay. Now, social media, though, it's a long-term play. You have to be consistent about it. If you're not going to be posting about social media consistently, don't bother, okay? Nobody really cares if you have a promo and you put it onto your social media because, well, nobody really cares. Nobody goes onto social media to see if they find deals. They go to social media for content. They don't go to social media to see if your restaurant has a new menu or not. But if you can tell a good story and you have good creative, and if you do it properly, you can definitely get a lot of views, a lot of traction, and a lot more customers. Done it myself for a lot of companies. Now, influencer collaborations. This one, pretty self-explanatory. Get foodies to come in. Here's the thing. I don't usually recommend foodies because those are hit and miss. I typically, what I do for restaurants is host an event. Okay. I don't bring in foodies one at a time. I usually get a group of foodies, a group of 4 to 8. And here's the thing. I do not get the biggest foodies. I do not go to people where you have to pay them for the exposure. Not worth it. The reason why is foodies, their whole thing is they need to find new places to go eat and write things about it, okay? And more often than not, they'll do it on their own dime because they're running out of restaurants to check out. So what I do, and this is a very specific strategy, is I go to like small to medium tier foodies, people who will come in for free. But here's the thing. Please find good foodies. And what I mean by good foodies is personality wise, engagement wise, just character dynamic wise, they're good people. In the foodie world, my lord, is it a bit of a drama fest. Feels like I'm dealing with high schoolers sometimes. But, find the good, mature, business type orientated ones. Don't just find the biggest ones. And once you get a few of those foodies, bring 4 to 8 of them at once and do like a tasting. The reason why I say that is because number one, because there's 4 to 8 people, you'll be able to have a table with more food, more selections for people to pick from. I see restaurants where they bring in like 1 or 2 foodies and they order a bunch of food just to take crazy photos and videos, but they never finish it and they pack it all up because there's just 2 people. Whereas if you bring 4 to 8 people, you can still offer a lot more food and you get, more exposure that way. And the reason why you do 4 to 8 foodies, or 10, up to you, of the size. The reason why and why you do medium size and small creators is because those foodies are all connected to other foodies and big and small. And if they post about their dining experience at your restaurant with 4 to 5 other 6 other foodies that were with them, the bigger foodies will also take notice because everyone's connected. That's just how it works, right? And if everyone's posting content all on that one day about your restaurant, the algorithm likes that, gets pushed out. And then the big foodies, FOMO, they just fear of missing out. They're like, what is this? I didn't get invited. What's this new place that all these, other foodies got to check out? Oh, cool. I should check it out myself. And, they go check it out. And those people that you would have normally had to pay them to come to your restaurant to check out your place, don't have to pay them no more. Okay. Strategy. Okay. Strategy. But that's like influencer collaboration. Definitely find the good ones, have a strategy. There's definitely ways for you to be able to take advantage without having to spend thousands of dollars. Okay? People get a free meal and you get a lot more exposure, especially if you know how to leverage this and know how to like get more people to your restaurant. Yeah. Don't tell foodies I told you that, okay? Just keep it hush hush. Google My Business Profile Optimization is the next one. Very simple, very self-explanatory. If you own a hot pot restaurant, you just need to optimize your Optimize your Google My Business profile so that when people are typing in hot pots in your city, you show up top. Very simple, very easy to do, but takes a lot of work. It's also long-term play. Doesn't happen overnight. Special promotions, these are the fun ones. So how can you do special promotions to be able to bring in new clients? Let's start with the bar. If you do have a bar, one way and a really good way to be able to get new people to come in is to do a buy one get one for like a cocktail or a beer or something, but do the buy one get one for a guest only. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is when someone does the buy one get one, they cannot buy 2 drinks for themselves and get one free. They need to have a second person in front of them to be able to, well, get that second drink. So it's one free drink for your friend and a drink for yourself. That way you have 2 people in your restaurant instead of just the one drinking the 2 drinks. You have two people in your restaurant with the buy one get one for a guest only. And because you have 2 people there, you have 2 mouths, they're going to eat more. It's a way to bring new clients, and it's also a way to put in more food. Another way to be able to do special promotions is food eating challenges, spicy challenges, or you could do as simple as having crazy strategies. Jesus, having a little timer where I've seen restaurants where it's like if you hit the button and you hit it at a certain time, you get the meal for free. Some people are like if you can hit this button exactly 10 seconds on the dot, you'll get it for free. And people post stuff like that. They'll post about them almost getting the meal for free, 10:01, like 10 second and 001 second, or 10.0, but you know what I'm saying. Basically, they'll post about it. It's a little challenge. They almost got the free meal, but they didn't. That's social media, but it also could be special promotion because they'll get the meal for free if they hit the little challenge you do. Even different ways, you can do like limited time offers, you can do referral programs, loyalty programs. World's your oyster with special promotions. Okay, the local partnership, that's very simple, self-explanatory. Network with businesses, see if there's any way you can collaborate with them, any way to cross-pollinate, make it a win-win situation. Plenty of ways to do that. I'm not going to go into too much detail about that. Email marketing, SMS marketing, building email lists. Highly encourage people to sign up for your newsletter. How do you get people to sign up for your newsletter? Well, one of the ways is with free Wi-Fi. Make it so that your restaurant has guest Wi-Fi, and all they need to do to gain access to the guest Wi-Fi is to sign up for your newsletter. Easy. They type in their email, sign up for the newsletter to get free Wi-Fi. Quick, simple, dirty. No need to explain that. Obviously, you want to have good newsletter, good value for why people would ever even want to open up your newsletter. Don't spam people. A lot of general practices for email marketing. Also, not gonna jump into that, but honestly, the free Wi-Fi, very easy to get, like a newsletter list, email list. And if you're a big enough company, during holidays, during special events, you can send out a newsletter showing promotions and all that fun stuff. Very easy. Those are just a few of the strategies that you can use in your restaurant to be able to just get more sales. Obviously, I could go more in depth onto every little nuances to be able to get more clients, like referral programs or challenges, things that you can do for social media. There are so many things that you can be able to do for your restaurant to be able to bring more clients in, whether that be hire more people, incentives, programs, influencers, you name it. So many ways to be able to get more clients into your restaurant. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them down in the comments down below. And if you want, you can book some time with either me or my team, and we can see if we can help your restaurant grow and scale and get more clients for you. Anyways, hopefully this video helps, and I'll see you later. John Penn, sign off. Talk to you later. Hope to see you soon. Bye for now.